better, right? So today is the last day of this 15% off sale, summer Lipo special. And to qualify, you must place your deposit by the end of today. So I wanted to get this live in early. Hopefully we can capture some people so you don't miss out. As you're jumping on here, ladies, if you have any friends or family that might want to take advantage of this special, it ends today. So if you can, tag them here, let them know. You need to get the formal consultation. So if you're really interested and you want to get this done and you haven't got the formal consultation yet, call the office and we can see if we can make accommodations for you to get it done later today, or maybe as long as you get your information in and we know that you're interested and you want to take advantage of the special, then we will make an exception so we can get the follow up whatever consultations can be done tomorrow. And on Instagram, I'm pinning the link for the formal consultation. The formal consultation is where you're going to send in the pictures. It costs $100, but you're going to speak directly with me, and you get to ask all your questions, concerns, and we'll take a look at your situation, evaluate, and figure out how we can make this awesome for you. Now, many of you may be, feeling like there's no hope. I've had a lot of consultations recently with people that have gone to other doctors or their local doctor, and they're always told that they have to have a tummy tuck, and it's just not the case. You don't have to do. Reality is, in this world, you don't have to do anything. So you have choices, and when it comes to getting rid of this belly, liposuction is a phenomenal option. There's so many benefits, and one of the big things that benefits is, first of all, you're not going to have the huge scar that you do from a tummy tuck. But second, it's everything that we do is under local anesthetic, so it's significantly safer. We completely avoid all the risks of general anesthesia. And the results are such that you can see the skin retracts back, even though, and you can see this picture here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit on it. But in these pictures, if you haven't seen them, they are located on our private Facebook page, My Shape Lipo Support Group. So they're there. But you can see this picture here. This individual had significant stretch marks and loose skin before the procedure. And it may be hard to see in this picture, but they, trust me, they had significant stretch marks, and yet after this procedure, you can see how well the skin retracts back. Now, the skin does not look perfect because it didn't look perfect before the procedure. So we're not affecting the skin. And similarly, even with the tummy tuck, she's had her stretch marks so far up on her belly that there's no way that you could have cut out all of the stretch marks. So even if you did a tummy tuck, you're just cutting away some of the stretch marks, and then they're gonna leave you with a funny looking belly button that's got scars around it, big scar from hip to hip, and it sucks. And so I know that a lot of people have, maybe you thought that was the only option, and so I'm just here to tell you that there are other options. And I hope to save some of you who are considering the tummy tuck, because it's simply not necessary for most people. All right, let's see. We've got a question here from Ida Gutierrez on Instagram. Says, does it hurt when getting the anesthesia? I'm just scared to be awake while getting the procedure done. So, since you're not numb yet, imagine like you're going to the dentist and they're like, okay, we're gonna numb you. You're gonna get a couple shots here, and it's uncomfortable initially. You kind of feel a burning sensation. It's weird, and then it goes numb. Same idea. However, we're obviously recovering a much larger area, so we got to get the numbing fluid into to the fat layer that we're treating. So that part you feel, and it's uncomfortable, kind of feels like a pinching sensation, but everybody gets through it. And once you're numb, the procedures it should be much easier as long as the numbing medication works well for you. In most cases, it does. And then throughout the procedure, if you feel any discomfort, just let me know. I've been doing this a long time, so I can usually tell just by the sounds that you make, the wincing in your face. I'm paying attention to everything. So in most cases, I just change direction. So if it's hurting in one spot, I just go to a different spot. But then if we need to put more medication, we can do that. It's not a problem. Try and keep you as comfortable as possible. This is not an easy process, though. Obviously, it takes a lot of work to get this fat out of you. So, it is what it is. Mrs. Maldonado So I'm terrified. How about if you get an infection and live in another state? So an infection in Nevada is the same as an infection in New York or Alaska or Florida or anywhere else. We treat it with antibiotics, and you don't necessarily need to have me there. Now, clearly, there's obviously going to be some potential for other potential side effects that you may need to get additional care afterwards. Um, but those are few and far between. So, in most cases, like if you feel like one of the wounds is getting infected, we just call in a prescription and it's taken care of. So, you know, that's that. Okay, you're welcome, Ida. And Kay says, where are you located? We are located in Las Vegas. Most of our patients, as you may start to gather here, most of our patients are flying in from out of state. Since we specialize specifically in liposuction and fat transfer, I've just done way more of these procedures than anyone else in the country, just because I specialize in it. And you can see that we're treating people that a lot of other doctors don't want to treat, or they don't even know how to treat. When they get these large bellies, they say that you absolutely have to get a tummy tuck. And I've figured out ways. And it's not that I'm like a genius or something. I just did trial and error. I worked hard and I tried different things. And, when you try different things, you tend to get different results. And so, over the years, I've practiced, I've tried a lot of different things, and you see the consequences, and they've come through extremely well. So, now with this, especially with the belly, with the hanging belly, it's not practice anymore. I know exactly what I'm doing, and it's consistent. I get the results very consistently. We can get rid of that lower belly, even with these larger patients here. We've had some very, very large patients. I'm kind of excited. We had a very, very large patient. She was pretty big, like over 350, very high BMI. I'm not even sure the numbers. We're gonna get the numbers for you soon, but we just did the procedure the other day, and I'm excited to see how those results turn out, because I think it's gonna encourage the larger people who feel like there's no options, because I know many of those people are told, sorry, your only option is going and getting like a gastric sleeve or one of those dangerous, gastric bypass type procedures. And, there's lots of complications to those, and those complications last for life. So getting those gastric sleeves or bypass procedures, they're dangerous. And, ultimately all it does is it's like so you might as well just sew up your mouth, because all it's doing is stopping your body from absorbing the food that you eat, or it makes the stomach so small that you simply can't fill it. You can't eat. So even just drinking water with these people that have these tiny little bellies, it's really difficult to drink water. And so you have more struggles the rest of your life, even though you might lose 100 pounds. And then after you lose that 100 pounds, with weight loss, the skin doesn't retract very well. And you'll see some people get it, some people can. It's their bodies, everybody's different. I just spoke with a lady this morning who lost 70 pounds, and she looked amazing. Her skin tightened up phenomenally well. I had a patient last week. She had 7 kids, and she was like 4'10", 4'11", tiny. 7 kids, and she barely had any stretch marks. So everybody has different potential. I can't promise anything, because everybody's just a little bit different. So I deal with the fat, and I remove the fat. So my job is I get out as much fat as possible, keep it as smooth and even as possible, and then we just got to wait and see what your body does with it. Because think of it like this: it's like you have a blanket over your body, a blanket of fat, and we're just taking the blanket off, and the blanket's going to show whatever's underneath. So sometimes what you find out, see how this lady right here, her belly was super flat, right? You just take the fat off, and it's really flat underneath. Some women have what we call visceral fat. So it's the fat behind the muscle. It's surrounding our internal organs. Everybody has it. Some people have more of it. And so those individuals, as their muscles weaken and the fat gets bigger, the fat pushes those muscles out, and it kind of gives them this pregnant look. Men, it's a lot more obvious. You can see they look like they're pregnant, and we call it beer belly. And if we touch the abdomen, it's hard as a rock. So the reason is because the fat's behind the muscle, not in front of the muscle. So with liposuction, we're not going to get a whole lot of fat out of there, because that layer of fat on the outside is very small. So the point of this is that everybody has different potentials. So my job is just to get the fat off as much as we can to make the biggest, most dramatic change. But whatever's underneath is what's going to show, and that's what, that's why it's important to not only rely on getting liposuction, but you shouldn't rely on that. You should continue to do your lifestyle changes and improvements to continue advancing and improving your life. And as you do that, things just get better. It is, that's just the way it works. And a lot of the problems that you're experiencing today will just disappear when you get your basic foundational habits down. And again, I'm going to repeat these, and you guys, I'm going to say it over and over and over so you hear this stuff. It's important. You got to drink water, half your body weight in ounces every day. You got to move. And so I'm not telling you specifically what you should do as far as moving, but I'm going to give you some ideas. You can go walking, jogging. You can, going to the gym and exercising. I had a lady today that told me, "Oh, I haven't been able to go to the gym for years," and well, that's just total bullshit excuses. Because the truth is like I haven't gone to the gym in over a decade. All my workouts are from home or at the park or wherever I go. You can work out anywhere, anytime with no exercise equipment, only body weight exercises, and still get a phenomenal workout. So you really, if you're making the excuse that you can't go to the gym, that's all it is it's an excuse. You don't have to go to the gym to work out. So stop telling yourself that. Stop lying to yourself. If you really want to work out, you'll show up when it's time to work out. And that's what I mean by show up, is just, it's time, you do. And so if it's time to go walk, you go out and walk. If it's time to go jog, you go out and jog. If it's, I have this, I get an app, right? Exercise app, and you just put, it says time to work out, hit the button, and it says, okay, time to go, okay, jumping jacks, 30 seconds, and it just takes you through the process. It makes it so easy. Stop thinking and just plug yourself into this thing and just do, right? And if you can do that, the stuff happens. You don't even have to think about it, just do it. How much does this cost? So Johnny, the cost, you can figure this out. It's really easy. Up above, let's see, we don't have it posted right now, but on the quick quote is on our website, myshapelipo.com, and you can get instant pricing. You can do it while we're talking right now. You go on a different page, get the on the website, the quick quote system. You just enter your basic information, you get your pricing. And then today is the last day for this 15% off special. So if you want to take advantage of it, then you would need to place a deposit by the end of today. So if you haven't had your formal consultation, you need to get that done. But obviously there's a time crunch. So call our office and let them know that you want to take advantage of this, the 15% off special, and then get the consultation scheduled for Monday, and we'll honor the 15% off special. Okay, this is where we need to fly and get done. I was talking to you about it, and he's live to ask questions. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Miss Maldonado, for sharing. I appreciate that. Hopefully we can get her on, answer any questions. We've been doing a lot of larger individuals, but I just want to be clear. If you have fat, it doesn't matter big, small, come one, come all. We have smaller individuals that the results are phenomenal. It's phenomenal. If you're big, we take out larger volumes, and it's a big dramatic picture, right? So you guys like to see pictures. So the bigger individuals with the more dramatic change is, I think, more inspiring and motivating. So that's why we show that stuff. But smaller individuals, it still makes a big difference. Obviously she wasn't that big, but you can see how she was more square shape, right? And so just taking away that fat in the midsection makes it more of it just makes the curves more dramatic, right? And if that's what you're looking for the dramatic curves. And when we treat the lower back and the waistline, we can really shape that butt and create the natural arch of the butt there and enhance the lower back. And you see how you create that natural arch to lower back. So all this stuff is possible, and really it doesn't matter whether you have a lot of fat or a little fat. It still makes a big difference for you. In particular areas like the chin, we're taking out just a very small amount of fat, but the results are amazing, right? Like it changes the whole shape of your face, and you go from this rounded face to a more elongated oval face, and we're simply taking away the fat above the jawline here. So I draw my line up from the ear to the corner of the mouth. We get everything above the jawline. So anything that you have here, your jowls, and then everything below the neck, below the jawline down here, we take all that stuff as well. And when you do that, it's going to define this jawline. And you can see how it looks on here, how we define that jawline and that profile just by taking away the fat below and above the bone there. And this is such a like a quick and easy procedure. People tend to not swell as much, not bruise as much, and the results are pretty obvious, pretty quick. So, if you've been struggling, and this is when I say struggling, it's usually you're hiding because you're embarrassed of the way that you look. So you avoid pictures, and you don't want to be seen because you're embarrassed for whatever reason, that you don't like the way that your chin looks. And this is like, especially if you're in sales or something that you should be in front of people. But maybe, what if you avoided that stuff and didn't go into a job or something of that nature because you didn't want to, you were embarrassed. So think of the value or the improvement in your life, that the choices that you're going to be able to make, right, just by simply changing some simple thing like getting your chin done. I can't say enough about this. The people that get this, it's even when even the small individuals, the people that even I question, like, I don't know if they have enough fat, they always seem to get the results that they're looking for. And it's either a slight change, slight improvement, but then obviously the bigger ones, it's a bigger, more dramatic change. And it's fun to watch because when the facial structures change, it's something that you see immediately. You see it every day, and it's like it changes who you are, because when you see yourself differently, you can't help but act differently. And as you act differently, you start thinking of yourself differently. You start making different decisions, like you want to do things like I want to go see this person now because I want them to see the way that I look. Or I want to, now you're not embarrassed, and you're able to, go places. Maybe you're able to do, public speaking engagements, and that maybe that's something that you were looking to do but you were embarrassed of. It's like a whole new world can open up, and this is just chin liposuction, right? But imagine if you get liposuction of the waistline, and imagine all the things that you've been, restricting yourself from because you had that belly. And maybe it was like, I can't go running because every time I run, my belly's jiggling, right? And so get rid of that, and all of a sudden now you can become a runner. And that changes your life, right? It allows you to do the things that you thought that were not possible for you, or that you didn't want to do for whatever reason. I can't tell you how many patients have told me that they don't go to the gym because they're embarrassed to be seen. Like they're going to the gym and they see all these, big muscle guys working out, and then they're embarrassed because they're nowhere close to that. And so they feel like they're out of place, they don't belong. So sometimes just, getting in this shape, creating these shapes on your body, it allows you to think differently. Because the truth is, obviously you're welcome in the gym. Obviously, you're not out of place, but the thought process is that you are. And so if we can get this fat off you so you see yourself different, it allows you to make a different decision because you don't believe the same stuff that you believed in the past. And you see people like Audra here. And all these people that you'll see behind me, they're all available on our private Facebook group. You can connect with them directly to get their stories, talk about their opinion, their experience with the procedure, the recovery. And the cool thing is that there's patients that have had the procedure like 7 or 8 years ago, and multiple procedures. And then there's people that had just got the procedure last week, and so they're just coming into this recovery. So many of our previous patients serve as mentors to the new people that are just getting the procedure, but also the people that are interested in getting the procedure and you don't know anybody. It's scary, right? You're looking at all these fake reviews all over the place, and you're talking to doctors' offices, and everywhere you call, it's all like customer service is uppity and kissing your ass about everything, and just trying to get your money. So I get it. It's hard to make these decisions. So that's why we have the private Facebook group, so you don't have to rely on fake reviews, and because the truth is, even most negative reviews are embellished. I hope you guys realize that. And even the positive reviews, they can be, embellished as well. I mean, usually it's like we ask somebody to write a review, right? I'm asking somebody to write a review, so they're gonna some glowing, puffy thing. And then negative people feel like they're obligated because they had some issue, which is only probably specific to them, but they're obligated then to tell it to everybody else. But the ability to communicate with the actual people who have had the procedure. And so it's not just like reading a one-time review. You can actually communicate, private message, and maybe they've had issues. That's normal. After a procedure, it's normal to have issues. Okay? But how do you deal with the issues? That's the important thing. That's what you want to learn, because it's inevitable. You're going to have some issues after the procedure. It's inevitable. Okay? It's just a matter of how do you manage it? How do you reduce the potential issues, and how do you avoid potential issues? That's the key. That's the stuff that you really want to know. Just because someone had an issue, like, so what? These are procedures. These are surgeries. It's gonna be There's gonna be complications. That's just the name of the game here. So we're going into this to make things better for you, but it's always possible that in doing that, there's gonna be complications, and you deal with it. But more importantly, if you can do things specifically to reduce the risks, that's the magic, right? If you can avoid the complication to begin with, it's way better. And that's what the advantage of talking to previous patients. Carmen says the price on the chin lipo. So again, you can go to the quick quote is on our website, but for the chin lipo, it's I think the standard across the board, it's $2,500, and that includes a smart lipo for the laser skin tightening. And again, we're going above the jawline here to get the jowls, everything on the lower part of the face, and that creates the more oval look. And then we get everything in the neck here, this double chin, to improve the profile and define this jawline. It's an awesome procedure. What's up, Stacy? Just spoke to Stacy earlier. All right, get some water here. This is one of our recent patients. It's fun, it's fun how as these people start sharing their stories, we're seeing how creative they're getting. And many of the patients are sharing, taking before pictures in one outfit and then taking the after picture in the same outfit, which makes it more obvious the change that's become of them. And keep in mind, I want you guys to realize this. All of these patients, all of them, are very insecure and self-conscious, all of them. And they're scared to show their pictures because they're embarrassed. And many of them, they're so scared they don't want to share anything, but the group has allowed them to feel more confident and comfortable because there's a lot of girls that are sharing. And when you get a lot of people that are sharing, it just, it allows you to step out from the dark place and step into the light and allow other people to experience the things that you've experienced, because there's so much positive that comes with this. And whatever negative that comes with it, and there's positive and negative with everything. So, but whatever negative comes with this, it's far outweighed by the positive. The benefits of fitting into your clothes better. When we say this is like one of the consequences. You're gonna have to get a new wardrobe. I mean that could be expensive, right? But I know you women love shopping. Most of you do, right? But you get the ability to then buy clothes off the rack, which is, when you're 256 like this, they don't make stuff for you. So what they do make are these muumuus, these big, cover everything. It's like you just, it's like you took the sheet off your bed and just wrapped it around you, and that's the stuff that they're selling you as dresses, as shirts, as whatever. It's just like a big bunch of cloth just draped over your body. They don't make stuff but specifically for you. But the reason is because as you get bigger, the discrepancies are different. right? So one person at 250 may not look like this, another person at 250 is big, wide discrepancy. So they just simply don't make things that are meant to fit you well. So in doing liposuction, it gets you back into this like, shall we say, normal shape, normal size, where you can buy clothes that fit much better, right? But more importantly, you have the look to wear that stuff. Like, when you have this big belly and folding all over the place, you're embarrassed. You don't want to wear, anything tight. But then, when you take all that fat off, all of a sudden these form-fitting clothes are that's in your range. That's right in your potential. So you can fit into that stuff, and it gets exciting. I'll tell you what, from my personal experience, I had my chest treated, and it bothered me so much, so much. I used to wear a tight undershirt every day in order to keep my chest flat, because my nipples, my boobs, it would like stick out, so it bothered the crap out of me. So I would put a tight shirt underneath and then a big baggy shirt over top, and yeah, I usually wear darker colors because darker colors doesn't show the moves. I'm sorry, the shapes as much. So that was my trick, and I'd done it for years. And this is going through my teen years and college years, and I was embarrassed to go in the pool that whole time. And how did I make up for that? I would work out excessively, and so I was very muscular, and I did that in an attempt to negate the boobs. Right, I wanted to try and get whatever I can and build the muscle up as much as I can, so I'd look buff instead of look like a little girl with my breast buds. And now that I had liposuction, it's like you can't keep a shirt on me on the weekends, and when I'm not in the office. I just, especially when it's 120 degrees out here in Vegas. But my confidence is through the roof. And what I found, because I did this 15 years ago, and I did go up and down in weight. But what I did find is that when I got really consistent with my lifestyle changes and my positive habits, and I just decided, I've in the past I've done things that I know were right, and I got good results. But then when I started looking better, I started getting comfortable, and I stopped doing the things that got me to that place. And when I stopped doing those things, I slid right back into the same discomfort, and it's like, because I gained weight and it didn't look good, and I was unhappy with it. So what I found is that if you take, you just have to make that decision that, and I keep saying it's like drawing a hard line in the sand, and I'm not going to go back anymore. I'm not going to slide back. I'm just going to keep going forward. And so when you do that, you start making decisions that are better. And in my mind, my mindset, the mindset that I adopted, is I told myself, what if I did all the things that I know are right? What if I did that? What would it be? And so I started doing that, and it was amazing. It was amazing. I'm sure you can imagine, right? I started eating right. I started exercising regularly. I started drinking water. I started educating myself more and reading more about how to get things better. And as I read more, I learned more techniques and habits to add on to improve my situation. And it was a constant and never-ending improvement, as opposed to I get to a point, I get comfortable and slide back. Get there, slide back. Get there, slide back. And that's the way I did it for years. And you're probably doing the same thing. And I call it the yo-yo diet, right? You go up and down, up and down. And at some point, you hit this age where you're like, you know what? I'm not gonna live forever. And I know that doing all the things that are bad for me are gonna make it so I live less. And so at some point, and it's usually like, maybe you have a death in the family or a close friend, someone has some major complications of, their unhealthy lifestyle, and it triggers something in your mind, and you just realize, like, it's time to change. You've known you had to change for a long time. You've known it. I've known it. We all know it, right? But at some point, you make the decision, and when you make that decision, I promise you, the stuff happens quickly. you get this procedure. I mean, look at it. We can get you, from this to this in one day, one procedure. And obviously there's recovery afterwards, but one day you can go from this to this. And it's like, that's phenomenal. So once you get there, then it's exciting because most cases what happens like this person here, when you're heavy like this, you don't see the results quick enough and they're not as dramatic as you want them to be, and so it gets frustrating, and so you do some stuff and then you quit. And that's why you go this up and down, up and down, up and down. With liposuction, we get you huge dramatic results. So then you're like, this shit's awesome. I want to look better. I want to feel better. I want to be better. And when you change it and flip the switch in your brain, it's just a paradigm shift. You just flip the switch and all of a sudden you're taking care of yourself. And you're doing the things that are necessary. And you're doing the things that make you healthier. And when you start doing that stuff, all the problems, I'm telling you, like all the problems, they just start fading away, and you won't even remember that you had them. Like GERD, we're doing acid reflux, difficulty breathing, high blood pressure, pre-diabetic, hormonal issues. A lot of these things are affected by the fat cells themselves. So when you get rid of the fat cells, your body just everything kind of goes back into tune the way it should be. But you've got to stick with the lifestyle habits and do all the things that you're supposed to do, because if you fix one thing but you're still doing all these things wrong, it's just a matter of time you're going to recreate the same problems. And in fact, I've seen that quite a few times where the patients will, come back to me 3, 4, 5 years later, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I gained, 20 pounds, and, now they want to treat the same area. And I'm thinking in my head, like, I'm not, I certainly did not grow up wealthy. I was poor growing up, and, I respect money. And so when these people come in and they spend, thousands of dollars to get the results that they get, and then a few years later, they're back spending, the same amount to redo the same thing that we did a few years ago, to me, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I'm hoping to attract the people that shit don't make sense to you either. Because if you can maintain this stuff, it's way better. And it's better for you, and it's better for me. I'll tell you how it's better for me. When you look good, when you look this good, all your family members see it. All your friends see it. And just because you look better is just the icing on the cake. It's the smiles every day. It's the I'm happy. It's the I show up for stuff now. It's the I want to live. It's just like this vigor. It's just, you feel like you want to live again. When you're like overweight, it's like depressing. You're like, I can't do anything. I don't want to. I'm embarrassed, and it's like, what's life? Life sucks, right? But then if you want to continue living life and live your best life, then you got to start improving. You got to start doing these things. And, I know that when you get these results, the change in the mindset is possible. If you go through with it, it's possible that you can change your mindset and have it's like, I'm calling it like the confidence explosion. Like it's just amazing. You have so much confidence and you're capable of doing so much more. Now, if you choose to believe that this procedure is, and you use it as a so you can continue doing the bad stuff, and believe that it's solving the consequences of doing the bad stuff. If you believe that, you're gonna do one of these. You improve, you slide right back, okay? And it's don't blame it on me. It's all your fault, because if you don't change the lifestyle and live the lifestyle that you deserve, you got to deserve this kind of body. Just paying for it, you'll get it, but if you don't deserve it, you won't keep it. Okay? Let me repeat that so you guys understand that. If you pay for it, you can get a body like this, but if you don't deserve it, meaning you're not living the lifestyle, you're not doing the things that this type of person needs to do to maintain this type of body, if you that some of you that may be on the bench here and considering getting this procedure, I just wanted to give you the opportunity to still take advantage of this because it ends today. So the stipulations that you're supposed to put the deposit down by the end of today. Now, obviously, if you haven't had your formal consultation yet, that's going to be a little bit challenging. But call our office and just get on the schedule for the consultation. And even if it's next week, as long as you called them today and showed interest and you're taking action, the universe favors those that takes action. So we will make exceptions to those that take action. But you got to take action today. You know, if you call me in 2 weeks and say, oh, can I get the 15% off? That's too late. So take action today and at least call the office, let them know that you're interested, get scheduled for the formal consultation, and you know, we'll get you taken care of on Monday, and we, you know, get your procedure next month. And it can happen, like I said, it happens quick. It can happen really quick for you. Miss Maldonado says, how long would it take to go back to the gym? I love Zumba, and how long do we need to stay in Vegas? And do you recommend places for the massage after? Okay, so let me start from the back. Massages after, we have, if you're on our group, the My Shape Lipo support group on Facebook, there is our massage therapist. She's in that group, and so you can connect with her after the procedure while you're here in Vegas. But after the procedure, we do you know, as part of the whole package thing, and you're going to get to come back to our office, and we have this lymphatic compression suit. It's like presso therapy is what it's called. It's good. It's not great. It's not the same as a manual lymphatic massage, but it does help improve circulation for you. People like that. Let's see. And then as far as how long you need to stay in Vegas, the recommendations are to come the day before to check in and then stay for 2 nights afterwards. And after the procedure, you're going to be draining a bunch of fluid. It's kind of messy, so traveling during that time period can be an inconvenience, so that's the reason why we recommend that. If you are flying or driving for that matter, it is recommended to get compression stockings, as it is a potential risk to get blood clots after this procedure or after any procedure, but this one in particular. And so the key and the reason why people don't get blood clots and why it's very low risk is that if you are up walking around, which you should be and you can be after this procedure, then the risks are significantly less, if not zero. However, when you are traveling, like you're driving, say if you're going to drive, I have people that drive, you know, from like Oregon and stuff, so we're talking like 12 hours. So if you're doing that kind of driving, then you're at a significantly higher risk for blood clot, because if you're laying down or sitting down and not moving, then that's a high risk for blood clot, with or without getting a procedure like this. So the recommendations in traveling is that you can, you know, 1, compression stockings, and 2, get up and walk around. If you're walking around, that's helping the circulation. Your body doesn't circulate the venous blood without movement. And that's one of the reasons why movement is so important, is for your circulation. Those of you that are getting varicose veins, it's because you're sitting too much, you're crossing your legs, the blood is pooling down in that area, and it's the lower leg or the calf areas where blood clots are most prominent. And let's see, you had one more part of that question. Going back to the gym, you love Zumba. So everybody always asks this, and you know, the first thing is you go back whenever you're ready. Our statistics have shown that about 75% of the patients said that they were back to a normal or a light gym workout within 2 weeks. With that said, that's 75%. So there's going to be 25% that aren't ready by that time. So you just gotta, it's whenever you're ready, whenever you feel up to it. But keep in mind that if you do things too quickly, too soon, and you're exerting yourself too much after this procedure, you could cause more swelling. So you just got to keep an eye on that, and if that's an issue for you, then you want to make sure that you're taking a little bit more time. So I just pinned the comment from Kat at My Shape. She's in the office now. So if you guys are interested in taking advantage of this 15% off, she is there now. She's available. So you can call her right now, and we get you started on the process. You're welcome. Kimmy Kager, I have my appointment date. I'm excited. Awesome. Can't wait. You know, it's super cool, especially, you know, I think that more of these people that are coming and they're going through the private Facebook page, you know, where the group, where they're communicating with some of the previous patients. It's like, it's building a family, really. And all these girls it's almost like a sorority. You've gone through the same crap, right? So it's like the hazing of sorority, or the hazing of liposuction is the procedure, right? You go through the process. It's not, you know, it is what it is, the recovery. But once you've been through it, it's like you have the experience that only a few people have, you know, and so it's a connection. And as you connect with them, you're going to realize that you guys have a lot of the same issues. And in most cases, you had a lot of the same issues before the procedure. And then what you can do is you can see the people that have gotten over those issues, and whether that's insecurity, whether that's loose skin, whether that's, you know, garment stuff, whatever the issues might be after the procedure, you'll be able to communicate with these individuals who were able to get over and past these struggles. So in hopes that maybe you'll avoid them completely, or, you know, guide you through the path of continuing to improve. Okay, VS Lovely says, would you recommend lipo for large volumes, or would tummy tuck be better? You're obviously new to my channel. We don't do any tummy tucks. In fact, all of our patients, none of them get tummy tucks, and we do very large individuals, large volume. You see, this is no tummy tuck. This is like a week afterwards, still very swollen. You can see it's bruised at the bottom there, but it's amazing how well these things tighten up. I'm telling you, you're gonna be blown away at what's possible, but it's not for everyone. You know, it's not for everyone. But if you want to avoid a tummy tuck, which most women do, this is a phenomenal option, and you can see the results are, it's really incredible at what's possible here. So we do large volume liposuction, very large patients. In fact, as I was saying earlier, we had a very, very large patient, BMI is over 45 easily. And so we're gonna see what the results are, see how she recovers. You know, these larger individuals, you know, they have different issues, and so it's just a matter of going through the process, figuring it out, and, you know, and we'll go through these processes with larger individuals and deal with their issues. And as we deal with their issues, we're able to help the people behind us to get through the process a little bit easier each time. It's just, and we're constant improvement. And so all the stuff that I preach, talk to you about, I do all of it, and so you can use me as an example. And you can see the benefits of what I'm talking about, all the stuff I'm talking about, all the habits that I do this stuff religiously every single day. I'm like constantly improving myself. And you can see that, look at this, my skin quality. You know, I'm 45 years old. I don't have any, you know, like a few gray hairs here and there, but very few wrinkles. You know, I have really good skin quality. I'm lean. You know, I'm about 5% body fat, which is the lowest body fat I've had in my whole life. And it's just a constant improvement, you know, and I'm just not sliding backwards. And that's why, you know, when I tell you these things, I'm not telling you that, hey, you should do this, and, you know, and I'm like, then I do something else. It's not like that at all. I tell you should do these things because, well, the only reason I'm telling you now, because I've been doing this stuff for about 6 years, the only reason I'm telling you now is because I know with like 1,000% certainty it works. And so I'm trying to condense and consolidate the primary, the key, the most important, the most biggest bang for your buck habits that you can do that will help make you healthier. And then I want to encourage you to continue to advance and educate yourself and read. You got to read more, and you got to seek the answers. So if you want the answers, you got to seek the answers. You got to look for them. And as you look for them, you'll find stuff, and you'll find stuff that you didn't realize. And you'll find things that you can do that you didn't think about before. But it kind of comes down to, you have to make a personal decision. And as I said, you know, in the past, I think women, what's up, Miss Black Queen? You know, many women, when they have kids, they neglect themselves. And I think the mindset is that, you know, these people are more important right now. You know, I got to take care of my kids. I got to take care of my husband. I got to take care of, you know, whatever you need to take care of. And then what happens is you put yourself on the back burner. So, well, I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time to eat right. I don't have time to drink water. I don't have time to exercise. I don't have time to do, you know, so you start making these bullshit excuses, right? And it's really the thing is like, you have time to do all these other things, but you don't have time to take care of yourself. So it's prioritization. As soon as you prioritize yourself, you can do everything. We all have the same time, right? I have the same time as you. So why is it that I'm able to be substantially more productive? Why? It's time management, and it's getting my priorities in the right order. And then more importantly, it's eliminating the things that don't need to be there. So so many people, I think that, when you're like a helper person, like my wife, she's a helper person. She likes to help everybody. And so when someone asks, "Can you help me with this?" she says yes. Now, when you do that and you give all of your time to other people for their benefit, then you don't have time for yourself. And so this is where the prioritization is like, what's more important, this thing that I'm helping someone else with, or doing my thing? And so this is where you kind of flip your switch and we're like, I'm more important. This is the only body that I get. And if I ruin this body, then I'm not going to have anything later in life. So it's super important that you take care of yourself now and do the things that are necessary for you now. And the interesting thing is that when you take care of yourself, you have so much more to give all these other people, because now you have the knowledge, you have the experience of how to improve yourself. Because all these people, we're all looking to improve, right? And so once you improve yourself, upgrade, right? When you upgrade your body, upgrade your mind, then everybody else wants to know about it. They want to know how you did it because they're struggling with the same thing. So just like I figured it out, my purpose is now to help herd people along. This is how you do it. This is how you get the results that you want. This is how you feel the way that you want to feel. This is how you become who you want to become. And it's like, it's simple. It's a step process. And you just have to get on the path and start walking and just start going. And as you get to the next thing to do, you got to do the next thing. And then it's a matter of like communicating with people. So when you have, like, again, when you have a group of other people that are along the same path and doing the same things, it's way easier to stay on path. And when you skew from the path, it's like you got these, I imagine life is like a bowling alley, and you got bumpers on both sides. And when the ball's going down, you go boom, you hit the side. Okay, now we got to go back this way, boom, boom, boom. And so you just got to stay on the path. And when you get to the edges and when you shouldn't be doing things, you're going to have people, hopefully people in your life that are like, hey, don't do that. Or you need to recognize yourself, hey, this is not good. And then kind of go back towards the middle of the path and then keep improving. And then you're going to hit the other side and go the opposite direction. And you got to keep on path. There's a balance to everything, right? You can't drink excessive, too much water, or else that'll be bad for you. You can't work out all the time, or else you're going to get burnt out, right? So there's a balance to everything in life, and you just got to figure out where your balance is, and where you're going to get the best results is in that sweet spot, in that middle of the path where you're doing things the right way, you're focused, and your priorities are right. Another big lesson. Here we go. Another big lesson. You are the 5 closest people you spend time with. And what I mean by that is that you are influenced by those that are around you, and you're highly influenced by those that are around you. That's why I say it's the 5 closest people to you. So you'll start taking on characteristics and traits of the people that you spend the most time with. And you'll find that if you're hanging out with people that don't work out, don't eat right, don't exercise, then that's probably what you're going to do, because that's what's expected of your group. That's what's expected. On the flip side, when I hang out with my friends that are like, marathon runners and, Ironman athletes, like the expectations is to work your ass off, and it's the complete opposite, right? I mean, that's a little bit above where I want to be at this point. But what's up, Brittany? But you need to, you can use this law. And this is a law. You are the 5 5 people closest to you, that you're influenced by them, and you influence them as well. So if you're either a positive influence or negative influence, and same thing with your friends, they're either a positive influence or a negative influence, and you should be able to recognize that. And maybe it's your friends, maybe it's your family, whoever it is, but you need to recognize, is this person a positive influence on me? Are they making me better? Are they lifting me up? Are they encouraging me? Are they supporting me? Or are they negative? Are they dragging me down, telling me you're fat, or telling me, like let's go out, let's go party, let's go do all the things that I know I shouldn't do, because those are the things that get you in trouble. So if you hang with people like that, it's inevitable. It's inevitable. They're going to draw you in, because misery loves company. You know this stuff. So this is a law, and how you take advantage of it, you can manipulate this law, is eliminate the negative people and recruit some good people. And here's the trick though. Maybe you don't have friends that are good or friends that are whatever. I had, simply, I didn't have friends. So what I did is I just eliminated everybody that was negative in my life, and I started focusing on reading more. I went to seminars, and the people that I spent time with were like Tony Robbins, Jay Abraham, and a lot of like books that I read that I read over and over and over, and I was getting into their mindset, and their mindset was starting to influence me, and that's how. It's the people you spend the time with. I'm just listening to them on books, but we're spending time together. We spend a lot of time together, right? And you could do the same. So you got to eliminate the time that you're spending with these negative people and start spending that time with the people that are going to be positive influences on you. And it doesn't have to be actual people. It could be books. It could be seminars. It could be influencers. On social media that you follow that are just inspiring and motivating you to do whatever. Maybe it's improving your business. Maybe it's improving your makeup. Maybe it's whatever it is. You gotta hang and spend time with people that are going to help you improve. And if you do that enough, it's inevitable. You'll improve because you'll feel bad not improving when you're around those people that are what do they call it? That are elevating, that are improving and getting better, and they're constantly rising. It's like a balloon. You just grab onto the rope and you can go up with them, and that it's cool. That's why if you spend more time with me, you're gonna rise because I keep going up. And it's just a constant improvement. I'm constantly improving, and that's why I keep rising. And as I rise, I'm gonna take as many of you with me as possible. And you get these procedures, I'm taking you with me. And then I'm gonna keep motivating the hell out of you and stay on top of you. And it's almost like if you stay within our circle of influence, you will be influenced. And it's that little bit of influence that to push you over the humps, the challenges, the struggles, is a little bit of influence that will allow you to change your life. And that's what this is all about. It's living your best life. It's changing and doing the things that are necessary to become the best person that you want to become. Okay, Ms. Maldonado says, my stomach is smaller than yours, and you want to knock them out and cry at the same time. Yeah, okay, so there's some funny stories. I hear these stories all the time, right? So some funny stories. I had a patient these years ago, and her, I think it was like 7-year-old daughter. They were in their the walk-in closet, and the woman was changing, and she had her shirt off, and she's got big pendulous breasts, right? Like they're hanging down, and her daughter goes, "Mommy, why are your boobs so sad? Aunt Jackie's boobs are so happy." and clearly the little girl just meant that they were like perky, like Aunt Jackie was young and perky. But this, man, it blew her away. She was so upset that she was in there scheduling her procedure the next day. And I can't tell you how many kids, it's in particular it's kids, because kids will tell you the truth. Your friends and family, they're going to sugarcoat all this shit for you and be like, "Oh no, it's not so bad, you don't need it." They're lying to you. Kids will tell you the truth. You go ask a kid, say, like a 5-year-old kid, "Hey, do you think I'm fat?" The kid's going to be like, "Mm-hmm." Or if you're not fat, they're not going to lie to you. They're going to tell you the truth. So in many cases, it's been the kids that are like, they tell their mom, they're like, like, "Mommy, don't get rid of the fat. It's so squishy. I like grabbing it." Like, it's funny, but if it's you don't want to hear that crap, right? Yeah, so she said, "I know the feeling, and it's the innocence of the kids." Yeah, it is, but it's the truth too. It's like that truth bomb, and that's why, I'm not trying to be mean to any of you by any means. However, I believe that you need somebody to be harsh on you. Maybe harsh is a too strong a word, but someone that needs to hold you accountable and stop taking the bullshit excuses that you've been telling yourself and just put it in your face and realize that if you want to change, if you want to improve your life, then you've got to change everything. You got to draw a hard line in the sand and say, "I'm not going back." And you got to start doing the things that make you deserve to have to have the life that you want. You have to deserve it. There's no free lunch in life. You're not going to get anything for free, and nothing is just going to be given to you. And when it is, you usually lose it. You know, you look at these lottery winners, they win, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars and then they're broke in a few years because they don't know what to do with it. You have to start acting as if you're this person already. Because unless you learn how to be this person that deserves to have this body, have this mindset, unless you deserve it, you're not going to get it and you won't be able to hold on to it. It'll slip right through your fingers and you'll be frustrated as hell and you'll start blaming everybody. And it's nobody else's fault but your own. It's nobody else's fault but your own. So you got to take 100% responsibility for yourself. And if you do, then you can accomplish anything. Because you can control what you do. You can't control what I do. You might be able to influence me, like I'm trying to influence you. I'm trying to influence you to live a better life, but I can't control you. I'm not going to help people that don't want to be helped. I figured that out a long time ago. If you're the type of person that wants to, you know, continue living a negative lifestyle, and you want me to suck your fat, I'll help you out. I'll suck the fat out of you, but I know, you know, in the long term, it's not going to work well for you. Brittany says, kids are blunt. My kids call Miss Booty Judy now. They used to call me Chunky. Yeah, well, now you got that big booty with the 360 lipo and tiny waistline. And so, but it's a different, you know, so now they have like a different phrase that's empowering you. It makes you feel better. So that's, you know, it's as long as like a double-edged sword, right? They say things, and if they tell you the truth that you don't like, it hurts, right? But then when they tell you the truth and it makes you feel better, it's even that much sweeter because you know it's the truth. Couple more minutes here. Don't forget, we got this 15% off special going on here. Okay, Miss Queen, sorry. Priorities in the willing to do, willing to want to do it. Okay, I know a lot of people that got their priorities in order, but still for some reason will talk themselves out of doing something they know. That's why I like my friends that I hang around, because they are very honest with no filter. When I was in the process of getting a BBL and 360, the first thing they said was, that's fine, but yeah, you know, the friends are going to influence you. So, you know, you control the friends that you hang out with. And it's the hardest part to this rule, this law, whatever you want to refer to this as, the hardest part to this, I think, is that the negative people, most of them are unfortunately your family members. And that's the hardest part, because you got to cut them out. And I'm not saying like eliminate them from your life. You just need to stop spending time with them. You know, you can't spend time with the people that are encouraging you to eat shitty food or go out drinking or, you know, or not work out. You know, you just can't hang out with those people anymore. And you what you need to do is schedule the time to hang out with these people that you know are negative influences. But then once you realize that they're a negative influence, then it makes you, it empowers you, you're powerful. You know that don't do this shit. And you need to be now a positive influence for those negative people. Okay, Black Queen says, have you gotten your eating habits in order? Maybe you should work on your eating disorder in order. First, mighty disorders. Is binge eating before you decide to spend all this money. Yeah, I mean, you know, eating disorders, right? You know, I think that, you know, most of our patients have the opposite, where they're eating too much. But, you know, I could be wrong. I know that a lot of these, you know, eating disorder type stuff, people don't necessarily talk about these things and, you know, don't share that information with me. So I don't personally hear about it a lot from my patients that they've had eating disorders, but that doesn't mean that they don't exist, and that doesn't mean that they're not happening. They haven't spoken about it, and which is why you'll find me, I don't speak about the stuff, because I just simply, it's not in my world, it's not in my sphere of influence. The patients that I talk to, they don't have those issues, or else I'd be talking about it more. So to sum everything up, you know, we do have this 15% off, and today is the last day, and I was doing this live early on the days in hopes that you guys would take advantage of this special and call our office and don't miss out, because today is the last day and you're supposed to place a deposit by the end of the day. If you're serious and you want to move forward and you're ready to do this, but you just haven't had your formal consultation yet, that's fine. Call the office, we'll make an exception for you, but you got to call today before the special's up. So you got to call today and just let them know your intent, and schedule the consultation, and then we can get you scheduled for probably Monday to do the consultation. So, all right, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. I hope I was educational, inspirational, motivational. And when you're ready to change your life, it's time. Now is the time. You know, the summer, we're coming into the hottest part of the summer, so you got to get this stuff done so you're ready to live a better life. All right, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.